Today we're going to try doing a watercolor painting in 5 minutes. This is a super fun challenge to try if you are trying to loosen up your style, you want to paint something but maybe you're short on time. So just take a photo, any reference photo, it can even be something kind of complex, and set the timer, see what you can paint in just 5 minutes. So today I've chosen this cow photo from Pixabay. I have it right on the screen in front of me, and I've got my little setup here. My paper today is Fabriano Artistico 140-pound hot press paper. I like the hot press paper for the smoother surface when we're working really fast and trying to paint quickly and loosely and illustratively. So this is a great surface for that. It's on a block, which means the sides are glued down, and that will prevent any warping or buckling of the paper while we're working. I'm going to be using my Burnt Sienna by Daniel Smith and my Indigo by Daniel Smith, and then Alizarin Crimson. This is a Holbein color. So just 3 colors for this painting. And we're going to keep it really simple and try to paint it really quickly. To start out, let's do a really quick sketch of our cow. When I look at the cow, I see a triangular shape where the ears and the mouth create a triangle. So we'll start with that, and that's going to help create the overall size for us so we get a better sense of how big we're working. Once you know how big your cow's head is going to be, you can draw the center of the head. Try to make it the same distance on each side. And the head itself is kind of this tall, skinny oval shape, and then a round shape for the muzzle. And the ears are pretty big. They come out like that. And then you have this white center stripe. So distinctive on a cow. And the sides of the cow coming down. We probably aren't going to do a whole lot of detail as far as surrounding colors on our cow's head. Most of the detail will be in the eyes and in the face. But once you have a rough sketch and you know the dimensions, then you can go back in and tighten up your drawing. I like to tilt my board a little bit, by the way, so I don't end up elongating my drawing. If you have it flat, it can sort of change your perspective and you might end up making the head too tall. So just check for that. If you're not comfortable with the drawing portion of this, I have included a traceable line drawing in the description below for you guys. So you can print that off and just trace it and then try to do the painting in the 5 minutes. These are fun challenges. Trying to accomplish something in 5 minutes is no easy task. It really forces you to simplify and to only include the most important information. And that's actually something I really love about this challenge. You can do this with any photo, any subject matter. Of course, the simpler the subject, the easier it is. And I don't know why I chose a cow. It's not exactly simple, is it? But we're going to see how it goes. So as soon as I get the drawing finished, actually, that's when I'm going to set my timer. And we're going to try to do the whole painting portion in 5 minutes. Now I'm drawing those nostrils on, and here I'm already getting really detailed with it. I gotta try to reel that in and just simplify. Okay, and then I'm gonna erase my extra triangle pencil marks just because they don't need to be there. But there's our quick and easy basic sketch. All right, guys, I'm going to set the timer on my phone for 5 minutes. Here we go, and hit start. Okay, just grab a round brush, any round brush you have, and for the brown color on the cow, I'm going to use Burnt Sienna. I'm going to paint that in all over where I see the brown, and add a little bit of a fuzzy detail along the bottom. I'm going to go even darker. Trying to paint really quickly here. The only thing that may require kind of waiting on your paint to dry will be where you paint the eyes black next to the brown. You don't want the two colors to just run together. So maybe to prevent that, go ahead and paint around the eyes first so that that area dries first. And that way you don't have to worry quite so much about your paint all running together. Speaking of that, I'll show you guys at the end. I did a test run of this exact same painting, and it definitely took longer than 5 minutes. And I totally made that mistake where I painted the black eye right next to the wet brown, and it all bled together, and it ruined it, so I had to start over. So don't make that same mistake. All right, paint in all of your brown. Dip in the water as much as you need to get your paint flowing for you. Can add some fuzzy fur around the outside of the ear. And then for the cow's body, just do really quick, loose brush strokes with tons of water. Wet on dry. The paper is dry. We haven't pre-wetted or anything like that. I'm going to rinse that out and then take some of my indigo and mix it in with the burnt sienna. So I have this kind of light gray tone, and I'm going to use that to paint some little curls on the top of the head in the white fur. Use your paper towel to control how much water is in your brush and remove any excess. The more water you have on your paper, the more out of control your watercolor is going to be. So something to keep in mind, especially when you're painting quickly. All right, then I'm going to rinse that and grab some alizarin crimson. That's my pink tone that I'm going to use for the muzzle. And we're just going to paint that all over the muzzle, except for some little highlights right underneath. 2 minutes. Oh. If you feel yourself starting to get frantic, just squint at your reference photo and look at the most important things. Decide what's the most important detail to include in these 5 minutes, and just paint that. So the most important thing that I see next is to do the eyes and to paint some darker shapes inside of the ear. So I'm taking my indigo, painting a big black shape inside of the ear. Like that. We'll do that on the other side too. Work with lots of juicy paint so that it goes quickly for you. And then I'm using my brush and just pulling out some fur texture from the bottom. Then I'm going to paint the eyes. Hopefully we don't mess it up this time. Leave a little highlight and add an eyelash. And try to make your eyes symmetrical. And then paint the nostrils. They're these comma shapes pretty much. I'm going to rinse that out a little bit and then darken the muzzle, except for that one little highlight under each nostril. And rinse slightly, adding kind of a shadow shape underneath. I'm going to add a shadow on each side of the face, there and there. Ah, and that's it. 5 minutes. Oh, that went by fast. Well, we did it though. We have a cow in 5 minutes. There he is. Oh, I promised I'd show you my first attempt, and here is where all the colors ran together because I accidentally painted the black and the brown side by side, and so poor Moo. So I hope you guys will give this a try. I'd love to see what you guys can come up with in 5 minutes. Doesn't have to be this cow, but I will leave a link in the description below with the Pixabay image that I used for this, and you guys can try it for yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.